How you doing, YouTube? Matt with Massive Beer Reviews, back with yet another review. And it's a little bit of Avery kookiness on today's Massive Beer Review in the form of their Imperial barrel-aged peanut stout. Their Nuttiest Professor. Man, it's been a minute since I've done an Avery review. I fucking love Avery. I think their barrel-aged program is one of the best, if not the best in the country. Their beers are absolutely fantastic. Everything they do, you know what I mean? They brought you the Uncle Jacobs, the Tweaks, the, you know what I mean, the Rumpkins. There's a whole bunch of awesome stuff they throw out there. And some of their old school stuff, like the Samuel, and, you know, their Mephistopheles, the B series, the whole nine. And, but it's been a minute since I've had one. Their price point's a little bit, butthole tightening. But yeah, it's been a bit, and I was at a local bottle shop with a friend, and he was like, you know what, he's like, heard good things about Nuttiest Professor, and I went, you know what, it's been forever since I've done an Avery review. Lo and behold, I bought one. There you go. So, let's dive into this sucker, see what she's got. As far as what it says on the bottle itself, it says, number 45 in our barrel-aged series, stout aged in bourbon barrels with peanuts added. Nuttiest Professor barrel-aged Imperial Stout. This is bottled June 19th, 2017. This is July 19th, 2017. It is exactly 1 month old at bottling. And it is 15.2% alcohol by volume. God. Anyway, yeah, label-wise, it's okay. It's pretty much Avery's, their new barrel-aged series labels. They're pretty much all exactly the same. Some obviously the words and the graphic in the middle changes. So I like it. I love me some foil tops. It's getting a little dated though. I'd like a little refresher on that one, but that's just me being a stickler. So let's throw that sucker there. Pop this top here. You know, nothing says peanut butter and barrel-aged stouts like 90-degree weather. I know I've been a broken record with that as of late, with the heat thing, but man, the heat and humidity has been killer. Let's just toss that whole thing in there like we don't give a shit, because I am not going to get a head off of that. So there you go. Let's see. A little yeast cake in the bottom. How about that? Listen, there wasn't much head there to begin with. It was just, you know, kind of khaki-ish malted malt ball color. It faded so quick I couldn't even tell. Not much left. There is a carbonation to it, though. You can actually see it. It's very cool. There's like this prickly kind of, like spritzy kind of carbonation kind of popping off on top. So there's still carbonation there. Now, why isn't there carbonation? Why didn't it last? Barrel aging, sure. They said it's with peanuts. Now, if you throw actual peanuts in the beer, it's going to kind of crush a head and kind of crush the body. I don't know if they actually did that. I don't know if they're doing a PB2 kind of thing. Who knows? But, you know what I mean? That could be part of it. But it's also a huge barrel-aged beer. I mean, a lot of these barrel-aged offerings from Avery have been known for the most robust of heads. So I'm going to let that one slide. And it's dark. It's not the darkest thing in history of mankind. It's not Tweak dark. But she's dark enough. So even give her a little swirl. This glass can get away from me if I really swirl it around. So try to be gentle on it. Now that, my friends, is what we call legs. That you can actually see this kind of rippled kind of, what's the word they use in auto industry for painting? Orange skin, kind of orange peel kind of effect with it. So the legs are just kind of creeping down there. So yeah, you're definitely looking at something that's clean and sticky. Let's see if we can get a nose on her. Bourbon. Bourbon, there's a little bit of roasted malts underneath there. Not really getting all that much peanut butter, to be perfectly honest with you, though. Yeah. Big bourbon. Big, red, cherried, hot. I was going to say slightly hot. I'm just going to say it. Hot kind of bourbon. There's almost a slight, like, sting of the nostrils kind of thing going on there when you give it a good huff. Yeah. Roasted malts, I mean, there could be a little bit of a nutty kind of thing going on there, but that could just be my mom playing tricks on me. But she smells like a 16% bourbon barrel-aged stout. That's what she smells like. So she's delivering what she says so far. Let's see what she tastes like. Just jump right in. Cheers. A little boozy. A little boozy. A little boozy. Yeah. I mean, she's hot. You know what I mean? She's hot. She's boozy. The bourbon's gigantic in it. I'm getting a little bit of charriness, very subtle charriness, a little bit of smokiness. Most of it's bourbon. Almost like there's a little bourbon mixed in there. But it's also, you know, it's big ABV beer. So there's a booziness to the beer itself that it's kind of lending to that kind of, ooh, wow, there's a lot of bourbon going on. The cherry in the bourbon's not as big as I thought it would be based off of the nose. The mouthfeel is not as big as I thought it would be. I thought it would be the nice kind of super thick kind of, you know, spoon stick straight up kind of density to it. And while it's not thin by any means, it's not as thick as you think it would be. If you gave this a year or 2 or 5 and let that booze kind of strip out of there, it'd be pretty easily drinkable, to be perfectly honest with you. The only thing keeping you back is that booziness. There is a nuttiness to it. There is a peanuttiness, not just like a nutty kind of maltiness to it. There is a peanuttiness to it, but it's very small. It's very small, but it comes off organic. It doesn't come off like a kind of synthetic-y kind of sweet baby Jesus, even though I'm not that, I don't poop on that beer that much, but it's not as nutty as some of these other beers out and about in the world that flaunt the whole peanut kind of thing. It definitely comes off a bit more kind of fleshy, kind of organic, kind of peanutty. And there's a little roasted malts there, and this is all well behind the bourbon. And that's pretty much it. Yeah, this is a big, huge, gigantic barrel-aged beer from a company that likes to fuck around with barrel-aged beers. Let's put it that way. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. Let's just jump to the chase. Cut to the chase. That's the words. Yeah, 2 sips. I'm already acting loopy. Anyway, is it one of the better barrel-aged beers I've had as of late? No, it's not. It's too hot, and it doesn't give me enough of that kind of peanut to kind of make me warrant even thinking it's a peanut-based beer. I'm kind of searching for it, trying to find it. Without it being there, it's kind of, you know, kind of like, okay, I think it's there. Do I think it's there, or is it actually there? I think it's there, but in very small amounts. But I think it would age fantastic. And that's the thing. That's why I'm not so super bummed on it. I'm super bummed on opening this one. But anybody who has this, I think if you let it sit, it could turn into a absolutely cellarable gem. The only caveat with that is, one, it's already very expensive. I mean, these by me usually pop off around $15 a piece. You know what I mean? $15 for 12 ounces, not cheap. And then combine that with, you know, you're going to have to sit on it for a long time. And 2, the peanut portion of the show. It doesn't come off all that robust. That peanut, pretty sure is going to fall off quicker than anything else. So what you're going to be left with if you do age it is a pretty damn fantastic bourbon barrel-aged beer. Just not any kind of nutty bourbon barrel-aged beer. And that's kind of the bummer of the whole thing, is that it will turn into something great, but it's going to turn into something great that a lot of other beers could turn into something great. So is it unique in that sense? No. Man, that's boozy. Anyway, value and availability. Like I said, give or take $15 depending on where you live. We are lucky enough to see all of Avery's offerings land here. Maybe that's why I don't review them a lot, because they're around and they say I'll get to them. I don't know, but we're lucky enough to get them. So if you see their barrel age offerings, chances are you will see this, and leave you with, if you like what we like this. If you like bourbon, if you like your beers hot, if you like your Avery barrel aged collection, because this is very up there with some of their other beers. Their Rumpkins, their Tweaks, those are the ones that are best known for nowadays. Do come off hot, but the other flavors in the beer tend to match that hotness. So while they're, hair on fire beers, they tend to be a hair on fire beers that kind of mimic what the label's telling you. This one tends to be a little bit too reserved on the peanut side to really lend itself to being like, oh, there's a crazy peanut barrel-aged beer. It's a barrel-aged beer that may or may not have peanut character in it. So if you're into big, huge barrel-aged beers that are absolutely, like I said, hair on fire, dumpster on fire, crazy roller coaster ride of mayhem kind of beers, then this is in your realm. And if you're into just high octane bonkers beerness, it's worth picking up. And if you like cellar beers, I mean, the price point makes it a little prohibitive, but if you want to cellar this, it'll probably turn into something pretty fantastic. So, yeah, there you go. Another review in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. If you didn't, anywhere in between, please leave a comment in the comment section below. Like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Tap. Massive Beers, all 4 of those places. And, yeah, another review down. So, hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully enjoying a nice nuttier professor. Hopefully you're watching this in years down the road and drinking one of these, and hopefully it's different for you. And we'll see you next time. Cheers.